and we're joined by Robin Van Etten. She is the U.S. CEO and Global COO of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, which is a much appreciated partner here on the show. Robin played a pivotal role in our trip, or rather Clay and Ali's trip to Israel last December, and accompanied them to Hostage Square and the Knesset. Clay met with Speaker Amir Ohana, and the IFCJ and Robin were instrumental in that. And Speaker Ohana was standing right next to Trump today. Robin, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you, Clay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Beck, for having me. It's so wonderful to be with you on this incredibly historic day.
Just share with us, if you would, the feelings of those who, well, at the fellowship and the supporters and people you're speaking to in Israel. And I just wanted your perspective on what today really means. You heard President Trump there saying the dawn of a new Middle East is upon us.
Yes, it's really incredible. We just came off an event on the Mall in Washington, D.C., where we literally had tens of thousands of Christians praying for Israel and thanking God for their return. And I think about my colleagues in Israel and over the last 2 years who have told me time and time again that they could never move forward. They could never have closure. They could never really start to rebuild their lives and rebuild their nation until those hostages were returned. And to see that day finally arrive is just truly a miracle. And it is a testament to the faith of so many, but certainly want to say thank you to President Trump and to Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as their teams who I know worked tirelessly for months to make this happen. But I also want to acknowledge the millions of Christians who have stood by Israel during these last 2 years, have never wavered in their support. It has been their love, their commitment to Israel and the Jewish people who I believe have played a pivotal role in getting us to this moment.
I know that you and the fellowship had a lot of contact with the families of the hostages that were being held, and now 20 of them have returned home as of today to their families. What in this whole process, you've been speaking to them. I know they've been through a horrific ordeal. Are they willing to go so far as to say that they believed that President Trump was the one who was able to make this happen?
I can't speak to this specifically to the hostage families, but from what I have certainly seen in many interviews with family members, they have definitely expressed that. I think we've seen it on the streets and at Freedom Square now in Tel Aviv, where they have overwhelmingly acknowledged that President Trump, that this could not have happened without his leadership and making this happen. I think from the beginning, when we first saw the first hostages come home, it has really been a testament to his tenacity to make sure. And even on this last round where he said, no, we're not going to have them, another 2 or 3 hostages here and there. We want all 20 as well as the deceased returned, and it happened. And so he deserves a tremendous amount of credit. And the fellowship has supported the hostage families since October 7th. We've provided nearly $1 million in direct aid to those families. And we're also really focusing now on how do we help those families start to recover. And it's about now renewal and certainly their resilience, but we have invested quite significantly in what we're calling a Return to Life Center at Shiva Medical Center. This will provide holistic care, medical, psychological, and social for the hostages that have returned, their families. It is a world-class hospital, and we are so proud to be a part of supporting their efforts in renovating and providing equipment for this to be hopefully a home and a center to help these families and these hostages restore their lives, and wishing nothing but the best for all of them. And may they just rest of their lives be prosper and be full of good memories and many blessings.
Robin Van Etten, U.S. CEO and Global COO of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Robin, really appreciate you joining us. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much, Puck. Really appreciate it. I just want to also say thank you to you and to Clay for being such staunch supporters of Israel, never wavering, always staying committed. And I can't tell you how important your voice has been over the last 2 years. So just a personal thank you from me and from the fellowship. We are deeply grateful for the support that I know you will continue to give Israel and the Jewish people. But thank you for everything.
Yes, thank you. Well, you're very welcome, Robin, and thank you for being here with us. And it was an easy thing to do because it was the right thing to do, and that always simplifies the equation. When you know what is right, when you know who the good guys are, so to speak, and what they are up against, it's not hard to lend your voice to their cause. You know, I have seen some of the commentary, even on the right. I've seen some of the commentary from people saying, "How can it be America first to be so concerned with what's going on in Israel?" To this, I just say, first of all, President Trump, who built the America First movement, is the one who is now taking the much-deserved victory laps for bringing about this peace, which is a good thing for everyone, all over the place, in the Middle East, here at home. A destabilized Middle East with ascendant terror groups. Yes, it results in instability over there. It also results in buses full of passengers blowing up in London. It results in trains exploding in Madrid during rush hour. It results in trucks running people over in the south of France, almost 100 at a time. And of course, in our country, a lot of jihadist terror attacks, including 9/11 and others. So, yeah, we don't want to be dealing with this mess and this nonsense. And stabilization of the region and putting reliable and reasonable partners in positions to be able to do their own housekeeping, so to speak. We're talking about the Saudis, the Emiratis, again, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not looking at this with rose-colored glasses, but at least now there's a realistic prospect of things getting substantially better. And that hasn't been the case in a very long time. I think about the years of the Obama administration in the Middle East, with the rise of ISIS and the Syrian civil war. I mean, just a disaster. The whole thing was just a giant disaster. Joe Biden, you have to go back and it's hard to even believe this. Joe Biden was the Obama era foreign policy brain. Think about that for a second, okay? Joe Biden, even without the dementia, didn't know his brain from his butt. I mean, it's crazy that this guy was supposed to be the architect of foreign policy, specifically in the Middle East. I mean, not just as the bagman for Hunter to go to Ukraine and get lots of cash, that Joe Biden was supposed to be involved in this kind of diplomacy and strategy. It just goes to show you how utterly unserious the Democrats are on this and everything else, too. Because they fancy themselves New York Times subscribers and citizens of the world, they have this completely outdated and I would say unsubstantiated belief that they, meaning the Democrats and the left in this country, are more worldly and therefore more insightful, more responsible on foreign policy. And all we have seen is the exact opposite of that over and over again. All of the evidence points against that perception, all of it. And even some of the supposed leading lights of the Democrat Party, Hillary Clinton, hello, Barack Obama, they are supposed to be the ones that were capable of getting deals like this. And actually, all they did was make everything worse. Trump, with no foreign policy experience within the government system, right? Obviously, a lot of international deals and travel and deal making. But before he becomes president, no foreign policy experience. And look what his team is accomplishing. Look what they have been able to do. And he has laid out all these different conflicts that aren't getting nearly as much attention as this, but calming things down in Southeast Asia, in South Asia, with Armenia and Azerbaijan. He's going in there. He's saying, hey, guys, let's really do this so that it's done and people stop dying. This is where you start to have to think about this as Trump is a great humanitarian. He's a great businessman, but he's a great humanitarian too, because his business dealings and background and acumen are really the cause of and allowing these kinds of agreements to be reached, which result in fewer people dying for no darn good reason in all these different conflicts all over the place, right? So I think that we do have to give credit where it is due here, and that means letting Trump take a healthy bow on this and understand that, yes, tomorrow is another day. There are still challenges. It's the Middle East. Things could get messed up fast. But I have not thought that there was even a scintilla of the basis for optimism in that region anywhere near what we are seeing right now. I've never seen anything like it. And you're not just hearing me on this. A lot of people are saying this, including people who just hate Trump's guts, but they have to say what is so manifestly true. So yeah, it's just, take the good ones, my friend. We're talking about the upcoming Virginia governor's race. I'm going to tell you, the Democrat candidate there is a train wreck. I'm still worried she's going to win. She's a train wreck. So we're going to get back into some of these things here probably tomorrow. So that's why I'm telling you, in the meantime, really let yourself take in what has happened here, what's going on here. So Clay is out for this hour. So I cannot share with you any particular picks. I do know that Mr. Saquon is a phenomenal athlete and very good for the sports. But I don't know much beyond that because I don't watch football. But Prize Picks is incredible, and it's a lot of fun because even I can get in on the Prize Picks. Clay does the picks, and I can get the prize, so to speak, if I go along with it. Prize Picks, a lot of fun. You pick from dozens of projections on player performances. You guys know how it goes. You get more or less on the proposed projection, and if you make the right decision, you get paid. Get started today on Prize Picks. Download that app. You can get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Millions of members, billions of dollars awarded in winnings. Prize Picks is the best place to put your player knowledge to the test. And a lot of you have a lot of knowledge. I do not. But like I said, Clay is using all of his expertise. He's had a couple of the parlays, I believe they are, right? Isn't that what it is? Or with the 5X thing? He'll explain it tomorrow. But it's amazing. Prize Picks, you got to go check it out. Use code Clay. It's good you're using that code. Code Clay on Prize Picks. You'll get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code Clay on Prize Picks. You'll get $50 instantly in lineups when you play $5. Prize Picks, you're going to love it. Check it out today.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And be sure to hit that like button.